Greetings, 20th Century Fox conventioneers, from your studios in Hollywood. 210 teeming acres representing the finest motion picture production plant in the world. The studio which is setting the entertainment pace of today and tomorrow, with hit after hit and new personalities that have zoomed to the topmost rungs of box office popularity. Yes, sir, 20th Century Fox leads the hit parade. Here is the new administration headquarters, the structural equivalent of a 15-story building, housing the industry's top-notch executive and creative talent. And now we take you to Darryl F. Zanuck's office. Here is a message from your Vice President in charge of production, Darryl F. Zanuck.
It is a great pleasure for me to face this convention, even in a manner as indirect as this. I had hoped to be with you at this time, but studio affairs and studio duty will keep me in Hollywood. I had hoped to be able to meet you personally and thank you for the great job that you've done. It is truly an inspirational job. When I look at our weekly and monthly reports from overseas, I can do nothing but say that you are setting an example for all of us, particularly for we who work at the studios in Hollywood. I can only pause for a moment to tell you that my thanks represent the thanks of my associates, Mr. Joseph M. Skink and Mr. William Getz. The entire studio is truly and sincerely proud of what you have done. I mean, we look back at a year ago and we look at the figures of today, and it's truly a miracle. I want to pause for a moment to thank Mr. Walter Hutchinson for his wonderful organization. I know that Sidney Kent would not put a man in this very important position unless Mr. Kent was certain that this man would deliver. Walter Hutchinson has certainly delivered. 20th Century Fox is more than an institution. We are all united in one common work, the work of making 20th Century Fox the outstanding company in the moving picture industry, and we will succeed. As long as I cannot be present to personally thank you for all that you have done, I have selected to represent us Colonel Jason Joy. Colonel Joy is probably better qualified than anyone in Hollywood to tell you the stories and plans for our future productions. I have spent hours with Colonel Joy going over all of the details, all of the items. I am sure that when he talks to you, he will present a true and clear picture of the things that we intend to do in our forthcoming productions. Colonel Joy, you will find, will give you the actual facts, and I believe that facts are the only things that you people can afford to be interested in. We are now going to take you on a photographic tour of our new studios, in which you will meet some of our personalities, as well as see a few brief scenes from our forthcoming productions. In closing, long live 20th Century Fox. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Zanuck. And here we go on a fast journey through the new 20th Century Fox studio. Here are several of the big stages erected to take care of capacity production. Also, the new building housing the vast and valuable store of properties maintained by Tom Little and his staff. Portrait gallery, scene of the all-important photographic sittings, the new Star's dressing room building, containing complete apartments with all the latest conveniences. Stage 8, the stage dedicated to the beloved Will Rogers. Here's a scene in the film laboratory, the finest in the industry. Over 1 million feet of film are handled here each week. Michael Leshing and Henry Goldfarb, heads of the lab, are seen inspecting some of the intricate and delicate equipment. The Writers' Building, a beautiful structure of Norman design which houses many members of the scenario department. Stories, sets, and costumes must be authentic, and that is where the finest research department in motion pictures comes in. Tens of thousands of books, hundreds of thousands of pictures, film editorial or cutting department. The gentleman standing is Hector Dodd's department head, looking over some of the day's rushes with ace cutter Alan McNeil. You've heard about it, and there it goes, the face on the cutting room floor. Women of the world look to Hollywood for styles, and 20th Century Fox sets the pace in motion picture modes through the expert styling of Arthur Levy, Gwen Wakeling, and Royer, studio wardrobe heads. Sound department. This department has been developed to the highest efficiency under the able direction of master technician Edmund Hansen and assistants Roger Heeman and Ralph Townsend. The maintenance department, devoted to the upkeep of offices, buildings, stages, studio machinery, and equipment. Camera. Bud Fisher in charge, and Grover Lobby, head of camera repair. Here was perfected the new 20th Century Fox silent camera, the first not to require a soundproof box. Ralph Hammeris, the gentleman on the right, is in charge of the process department. The mills of the gods may grind slowly, but not the mill at 20th Century Fox. There, millions of feet of lumber are transformed into the beautiful interior and mammoth exterior sets you see on the screen. Drafting room, where the drawings of art directors are scaled and put on paper for the mill and construction department. Blueprint machine, automatically making blueprint from tracing. William Darling, art director, supervises the designing and execution of all sets. The 20th Century Fox arsenal boasts the most complete store of arms and military equipment in the entire motion picture industry, ranging from pistols to howitzers, rifles of all armies, machine guns, even batteries of field guns. Huge generators. Enough current is consumed on the lot to light a city of 100,000 people. Fred Serson's scenic art crew, creating special backgrounds. Transportation. The modern, up-to-the-minute rolling stock includes passenger automobiles, heavy-duty trucks, buses, light delivery cars, and motorcycles for inter-studio and location work. The personnel of the studio equals the population of a good-sized town. Each payday sees over 3,000 employees at the paymaster's wheel. The studio police and fire departments charged with the important task of maintaining studio safety. Tom Young, chief of police, and Eugene Enos, fire chief. This fine body of trained guards and firemen stand ready to meet any emergency that might endanger studio property or personnel. The Café de Paris, acknowledged to be Hollywood's finest. Combined with the lot, cafeteria, and lunchroom, the three restaurants feed an estimated 4,000 persons per day. Darryl F. Zanuck and Vice President and Executive Assistant William Getz congratulate Irving Berlin on the success of On the Avenue, the famed Melody Master's first production for 20th Century Fox. Saul Wurtzel, executive producer with associates John Stone and Max Golden. After a series of box office winners, associate producer Nunnally Johnson tops all his previous successes with one of the season's big specials, Slave Ship. Former ace writer Gene Markey, now associate producer, is seen conferring with writer William Conselman. Markey handled the production reins on the current musical sensation On the Avenue. Noted director E.H. Griffith, on the right, has made his finest sophisticated romance in Café Metropole. He is seen conferring with writer Charles Kenyon. Ed Eberly, dynamic production manager, and Fred Metzler, studio treasurer. Music building, headquarters of the sterling 20th Century Fox music department, headed by Louis Silvers, James O'Keefe, and Samuel Caleb, seen here with a group of associates. Colonel Jason S. Joy, in charge of public relations, and Julian Johnson, head of the scenario department. World-famous author Gene Fowler, with ace writers Bess Meredith and Alan Rudkin. Associate producer Sam Engel, with writers Howard Ellis Smith and Milton Sperling. Lou Moore, story editor, with writers Helen Logan and Robert Ellis. Nationally known writers Sam Hellman and Gladys Lehman, writers of the excellent Slave Ship screenplay. Staff writers Saul Elkins and Lou Breslow. Two more members of the studio scenario staff, Edward T. Lowe and Lamar Trotty. Here are associate producers Raymond Griffith and Kenneth McGowan. The world's #1 star, the dimpled darling of the universe, Shirley Temple, with her mother, Mrs. George Temple, ready to go back to work after luncheon at the Café de Paris.